The Black Ice Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy D. There is only 2 days left until the election, 2016, and only 12 days left before the Black Ice Chronicles, the track, the 6th season debut of the Black Ice Chronicles. What do I want to speak on today? Earlier in my lifetime, I produced hip-hop music. And you can hear most of it now on the Crazy D Show soundtrack on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, and other music sharing platforms. You can hear the music, download it, buy it, you know. It may be classic to me, but it's new to you. So go check that out. But I was producing an album for one of the rappers that I was producing for. And something happened back in Cleveland. It was the same summer that Players Club came out. Players Club came out, the movie. And then everyone thought all this was going to be the season for, you know, the strip club. The black strip club in particular. Well, our mayor at the time didn't think so. So all of a sudden it was a clampdown, not on all of the strip clubs, just the black strip clubs. And mind you, our mayor at the time was black. You know. But then again, we keep on talking about the white code, so I'll leave that right there, you know. But anyway, so we had this investigative reporter named Carl. And he would go around, he was a white guy, you know. Now, for most people who don't know, Polish, German, you know, that makes up most of the white community. And then you have other nationalities mixed in that make up the white population of Cleveland. So we had Carl. And he would go around and do investigative reporting on one of the channels, kind of like it is out here in Las Vegas. Let me tell you, for people who don't know, the investigative reporting is the same everywhere. It's always anti-nigga machine. Okay, anyway, it's neither here nor there, but just a little food for thought. So he decides to go in and bust this famous, or pop, let's say not famous, because it wasn't like famous, but it was popular strip club that was on Miles, black owned, and he decided to go in and bust it and take investigative reporting on the inside. And I guess they had passed a law that said, you know, unbeknownst to people, you know, they don't tell you when they pass these laws. So they pass a law, okay, well, they can't be totally, the strippers can't be totally naked when there's alcohol being served. Okay, so they went in with these cameras. Now, no one's saying anything, you know, to the other strip clubs, but okay. So they go in and they do this investigative reporting, and they show the girl, and then they blur her out. They don't really blur it out enough where you can't see, because they want the shock value, because, oh, the white community is gonna be just totally appalled by this. The religious right, the moral minority. But anyway, so this report comes out, and it causes a black man's business to be shut down. Okay, so, well, it was shut down for a while, had to pay fines, and then it opened back up. But by then, you know, when they do things, it was just like that same summer, the mayor cracked down on the parks, and people will go to the park and just park and listen to their music. But they, at this particular park, they parked at the top of the hill, the police, and then as the people came up, they hassled them. Now people couldn't back up, so they were locked in. And then so that ended the park. All they had to do was just do that intimidation factor, and again, it was black police officers doing it. So, I put that there and leave that right there. Okay? Now let's put this together. So it doesn't matter what color they manifest as. If they're living under the white code, you're going to be oppressed. Mind you, these were Democrats, and then we were under Democratic rule in Cleveland as far as the prosecuting attorney. It just goes on and on. Okay? So all this is going on at the same time, which is breaking up economy. It really broke up my economy because I had come out with a double mix CD. I had just opened my store and I had come out with a double mix CD, the first double mix CD from out of Cleveland, called The Realm, the Gospel According to Cleveland. You can hear pieces of that on my SoundCloud. Shameless plugs throughout this story. But all this is going on, and this is breaking up black economy. Meanwhile, the white economy is just going on without a hitch because there was a building and it was a gradual and everything was working, and at the same time, this is all at the same time that the year before, the city that was in the city of Warrensville, which was a block away from Cleveland where my store was located, they had come in talking about doing inspections, going along the whole line, bringing a black inspector. Now the mayor was black. We had just finished getting from off or under what was considered an oppressive regime with a white mayor, that had the police hassling young black men. But so they come in with this because they were working with the corporate establishment that was across the street. And in the end, come to find out they did all that. I wouldn't let them just come in on me and do it. They had to set up and come up at a certain time to do it. And I filmed the shit, then I put it out on a DVD the year before, and they called me the man with the camera because I stood up for myself. And come to find out, years later, the economy fell out, went rock bottom under Bush with his 2 wars and cutting taxes on the rich. They never were able to take that part of the strip because they wanted to turn it into a parking lot. That was the rumor, and I had the longest lease, and I'm sure that a couple other businesses had long leases and they wanted to wait it out. But then by the time they waited it out, the bottom fell out, and then the person who was our congressperson passed away, and the person that was the mayor who was involved in the destruction of black economy, trying to destroy black economy, became the representative. Shit. But anyway, so I'm giving you all this context. This is context. This is within a 5-year span, I'm going to say, because I could tell you more things that happened before, but we're just standing in 3-year span. So we're sitting here. Okay, so I'm producing rap acts, because I always produced. I started out DJing, and rappers automatically would come over to DJs. Let me turn down have to turn down the exposure because the sun is coming up. There we go. All right, so rappers always gravitate towards DJs. So I had the DJs, and one of my cousins rapped, so I was producing his album. And what I liked about my hip-hop music was it was not gangster rap. We didn't do gangster rap. We did do reality rap, but we didn't glorify guns, we didn't glorify drugs, but because it was like in the peripheral, because I never dealt in drugs. So, but the stories were told. Some of the people who were involved had people, and they could tell stories, and it was more like stories and not saying, oh, I'm the big drug dealer and things. So it was a lot different, and so that's how we got down. So I'm proud of that, and you can always go there and download that music still on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play, and other music streaming platforms. Shameless plug again. Okay, so we decided that we were going to do a skit. Now I had for anyone who holds on to Source magazines, you can go to the November issue of 1999, and you will see that Crazy D is featured, the only store owner whose crew we actually got a photograph inside of the store, and a nice sizable write-up within the story about, Cleveland hip-hop. They were coming in after Bone had been successful, and they were going city to city to different cities according to who were popular, who had rap acts out, and going to see the other independents that were out. And we got a sizable write-up, and we also were pictured inside of the magazine. So you can go to the November issue of 1999 of the Source magazine for those who are collectors, who are collectors' item. Dust it off, take it out of the plastic, and turn to those pages. On the front cover is Q-Tip, Mos Def, and Pharoahe Monch. That's the three who were on the cover. It was a green cover. Okay, so I was producing this track, and then all this happened. So we decided that we were going to do a skit where we had a person named Carl Tuesday. And of course, I did the voice. I said, "This is Carl Tuesday, reporting live from Sean Styles Detail Shop." Right? So, because that's how Carl would open up his pieces, and he would be standing out there, then he would just rush in with the microphone, the camera, on the guerrilla filmmaking type shit. Okay, so we're there. So we're in there. We're in the studio, and we're doing it because I had a studio in my store, and we're in the back doing this. After store hours, we're cutting this track. So I had a local DJ, which I had mixed down he had mixed it on a 4-track, and then we brought it to the studio and boosted it up, and I mixed it down and opened up the mids and the highs and the lows, and so that it would just boom before it was mastered. It was already booming and just full and rich and warm. People who understand about analog and digital understand what I'm talking about when I say warm. And it was pounding, and it was ready for mastering. And once it came out, it was one of the best selling, and all this happened at around the same time that the Source magazine came. We were prepared. We were ready. Okay, so we're back in the studio, and now, mind you, in the songs and rap music, there's certain bona fides in rap music. It's certain phrases and certain words that you say that show that you have bona fides in hip-hop music, right? So, and there's certain conversation that you talk about. Like I said, we didn't glorify drugs and guns, but we did glorify male machismo, strong, not gonna take no shit type shit. And of course, we talked about how we loved partying alongside our black women and using the words that are used in hip hop to describe that. But we always love our black women. We always have to say that. And other just stories. So within those different bona fides, within showing that you have bona fides in hip hop, the word nigga is thrown around. Never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. Tupac coined the acronym, so that's always in there. And you use nigga in a good way, my nigga, in a bad way, I'm gonna fuck that nigga up. That's just the way it is. That's just part of the bona fides, and it's not for any other people to use because we took it and flipped it. Okay, so we didn't use, it wasn't lace, because I believed in eliminating. Let's change up and let's use it when it's emphasis necessary, but not all throughout every record. Nigga, kill up a million niggas, So we've said nigga all through the record. Like I said, positive, negative, in between, however you want to say it. Describing the life that a young black male would live on this particular album that I was producing. So we get to the skit, and I do the voice, and then all of a sudden, once he comes in, I say, oh hell no, you did limb rocks. And then you say, so I say, so it's a whole thing, and we make the sound effects of like a fight and a struggle ensuing, and you know, get that motherfucker. I say, you'll hear me say in that high pitch, get that motherfucker. And I say, fucking cracker, right? So I say fucking cracker in it, right? So the DJ that I produced at the time, he says, we're in the studio now. Like I said, we didn't say nigga. Okay. He said, should we say cracker? Because we're trying to get white people to listen, and that might offend them. Okay. So we didn't just use nigga all throughout the record, but all of a sudden, when we say cracker, which is representing and saying our frustrations and our anger at someone trying to take away our money source, our economics, and we call them what they are and why they're doing it, while they're doing it, and why they are doing it is because they have the mentality of the white coat, cracker. All of a sudden, we shouldn't be saying that because we're trying to get through to the people. We're trying to get through and have white people listen. Now, as me producing, I wasn't interested in white people necessarily listening to my music. I was interested in my people getting it because I believe in my people 100%. My people came and shopped with me, and they're the ones that held me down. And occasionally I would have white folks come shop with me, but they were scared to come into the neighborhoods. Hey, that's their problem. They're stereotyping all that bullshit. I don't have time for that. So I was down for my people. So when we tell that story, and I'm down for black economics because I was an owner and am an owner, and I didn't like them taking away a man's source. And I said, we didn't say nigga all throughout the record. And now we say cracker one time, and then all of a sudden it's a problem. And that's what lets me know that you can be standing and speaking with people who you think are awake, but they're sleepwalking through this motherfucker. But guess what? November 8th, if Donald Trump is elected, it won't be any more time for sleepwalking anymore, because they have told you what they want and what they want to do. Law and order, and who law and order will be focused upon, and why they want law and order. The groups that back him, who support him, have told you. So it's no more time to sleepwalk anymore for those who like to sleepwalk, didn't want to offend. Oh, there's going to be some offending happening, and you got to be with it to dish it right back. So that's it. That's what I wanted to speak on today. Put it all together, figure it out for yourself, and stay tuned. No more chiseled off noses. No more loss of history. The Black Ice Chronicles.